Money and input cruising through the airwaves. Transformers knowledge blast that never caves. Reviews so sharp they'll cut through steel. In the podcast world, they're the real deal. Jumping in the deep end, swimming with the best. Danny's got the info and she never needs to rest. Input's got the passion like a roaring jet. Together they make a mark you won't forget. Dynamic duo, never gonna quit. Taking over airwaves, super lit. Transformers podcast bringing the heat. Every single episode can't be beat.
All right, yeah. No, it can't be beat. Never get tired of that. Welcome to the State of the Transformers podcast. Today we're talking about the big issues, the heavy issues, like do people still transform? They're Transformers. I'm here with the Mr. N-Put himself.
So first of all, I want to welcome everybody out there to the State of the Transformers Fandom podcast.
Fandom podcast.
And because branding is important. And if you guys don't know by now, you should consider yourselves told as I stumbled through that one. Let's try that one again, shall we? If you guys don't know by now, then you should consider yourself told, because it's me. It's that N-PUT, baby. And I'm mobbing once again with Danny Double D.
These nuts. No, I'm kidding, but God. Yes,
and we're gonna do this real quick, fast, like, and in a hurry. We're gonna give a really big shout out to Ninja Bill Reviews, who left a comment on last week's 2 weeks episode, something like that. Said another great stream, folks. Always a pleasure to sit down and give a listen. Might I make a suggestion again about all the Transformers kits and companies? Are fans tired of transforming toys?
So thank you, Bill, for saving our ass for the last 2 weeks, getting us some topics. Anyone else get some topics that can get highlighted too. So I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Thank you, Ninja Bill, coming in for the kill. And talking about death.
Oh man, yeah. I don't even know. Like, I don't even know what to say. Like, shout out to Ozzy. Like, I mean, fuck's sakes, man. Like, that's.
Concert, if you haven't seen it, they did a concert like 2 weeks ago, his final concert. It was like hours long, like 12 hours long, 14 hours long, with all these other people like Slayer, Guns N' Roses, Metallica, but like the Ozzy part at the end was amazing. So check it out if you can. I know there's weird videos on it, most of people's cell phones, but there was a actual production recording. If you can find that on YouTube, definitely worth checking out. But yeah, sad day, rest in peace, a legend. It's sad.
Yeah. I mean, I can't sit here and say anything about him, because anything I got to say isn't going to do it justice. You know what I mean? Right. Do him justice. So,
yeah.
Rachel says, I can actually throw my 2 cents in whenever I get new Transformers, which is rare. I spend most of my money on other hobbies. I just plunk the Transformer on a shelf and occasionally transform them like one time. I'll say this. As far I really feel like that's kind of toy collecting nowadays as a whole, right? Like, you get it, you pose it, you might fiddle around with it, and then you put it on a shelf. And that's not just Transformers. That's everything few and far between, right?
But that's that extra step with Transformers. It's like, regular toy, you might feel satisfied just opening it and putting, playing with it a little bit, putting it on the shelf. But Transformers, did you actually transform it? Yes, I did when they're this simple, but when they're not, no.
Takes the cheap way out.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of like small, like older, not Thrilling 30, but was it Universe, like the really small, like Legends class stuff that I fiddle around with on my desk and stuff like that. But like, I very rarely transform anything. And the thing is these are puzzles, right? And once you figure out the puzzle, do you really want to keep, figuring out the puzzle, right? Like, So maybe it's a good thing that people are kind of getting away. And when I say people, I mean companies and stuff. Maybe maybe it's a good thing they're getting away from transforming Transformers, because there's an option out there now where, you know, you don't have to fiddle around with it, figure out the puzzle. You can just pose it like a standard action figure and put it up on the shelf and call it done. Right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I like this hot rod actually for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah, it's one of those things. Like which ones was it? I think it was Siege, but Earthrise Wheeljack. Obviously the side swipe that came from that, the 100 molds. It was the ones that I got so used to. I remember transforming them a few times or more than once because it was like I was doing videos on them at the time. And it was easier, and it was just those ones that felt like, you know what I mean, like just more organic, or they flowed really easy. It's just the ones like that have so many panels. You know, even just the Hasbro stuff, that's all it has to click in. It's just kind of frustrating to transform, you know.
And there's also something to be kind of said about how the like let's talk third party, right? And how fragile some of these third party things can be. And you get it and you transform it, you slide a wing up or down on the slider mechanism, and then you snap a wing, right? And it's like, fuck, I just spent $200-300 on this figure, and now money down the drain, blah 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 blah. And it would have been much easier to buy a figure that doesn't transform, because at the end of the day, you're getting these figures as representations of a character or a world or whatever it is that you enjoy, that you like, right? So does it really have to be transforming?
Well, it's weird. I do like it, yeah, because Transformer to me has to transform in a sense. Not all of them. I'm not like purely that way, but I like the idea that they can. It's just I don't do it. But I'm like, oh, it's cool that they can, you know? Like there's just a part of me that likes that they can. But yeah, I mean, some of those you know, not the third party ones, but the whatever Flames toys or whatever, they look really cool. It's cool, and they can, like, you know, have that look, you know, and some people just like those ones, you know, and it's all good and dandy, but I do like the idea that they can transform. And another thing is too, like, I love transforming the old stuff, like, you know, original G1 Soundwave, or some of the mini cars from RID or whatever, like the ones that are just so basic that it's just kind of, you know, it's just fun. It takes, I guess, the nostalgia of the old figure, and it's just the basic. It's so basic back then, right? Just pull the guy's arms out, flip his chest down, stand him up. You know, it's just I don't know, something like just pure and old school about it. Fun.
Right now, what figure behind you, Danny, would you pull down and transform?
I don't know, probably something like Long Haul, because it's easy as sin. But yeah, no, otherwise, no, like, yeah, like those, like, and yeah, old G1s up there, there's something that they're fine, right? Like, you know, easily do that, but grab someone. But it's just yeah, but like, it's just the newer stuff. And yeah, the third party, like, if it comes in vehicle mode or whatever mode, that sucks when you buy third party figure and it comes like in the box in car mode or whatever. Like those G2 Stunticons, like I said, I snapped that Menasor in half. It was like worth $300. So it was just yeah, so it just takes you don't, yeah, it actually burnt me out on those. Where I was like, I don't even, if I can't buy them used, already transformed, I don't even want it at this point. I got rid of some of them because it's just not fun. Like I said, they're more of a model, you know, the masterpiece third party stuff, you know, it's more of a posable model, and it's just brittle. Like the plastic's brittle, you know.
Yeah. I see. I prefer everything to come in alt mode, because it's the puzzle, right?
Yeah, regular toy, yeah, but third party, I'm sweating, you know. True.
Well, that's why, as far as third party goes, I always wait for a review.
Yeah.
Well, any figure in general, I always wait for a review from an honest reviewer. If you guys don't know Honest Reviewers, we've done 2 episodes on Honest Reviewers, so go check that out. And I wait for a review from one of those guys, and then, you know, go into my purchase making decision, you know, after that.
But that other kind of one too, like I watched, I think Bobby and Emgo, I still snapped it in half, and I had it at that point, like, because that slider in the middle of that thing is so brittle. It's like on a cheap little plastic slider.
Yeah,
it just sucks.
And the problem is with sliders, like, the sliders should always be greased, right? But the
Um,
problem with grease is like when grease gets exposed to air, it dries out. It dries up real easily and quickly, right? So like it's kind of like a double-edged sword kind of deal. But like the problem with doing something on a slider is, like I said, if it's small plastic, it's not greased, you're definitely going to add a lot of wear and tear on that area for,
yeah,
for like the 2 seconds you're trying to slide it, and then lock it in place and everything else.
yeah. Rachel says, Danny, I respectfully disagree. It's more fun, in my opinion, to figure out the puzzle from vehicle mode to robot. Yeah, no, I don't like Transformers at all for the puzzles. I hate all puzzles. Like, I could never even build any puzzles except those huge ones as a kid. That's the only puzzles I could ever figure out. Because, like, my life, everyone just did everything for me, right? So, like, if I got a really intricate puzzle, like, they would just do it for me, right?
See, you're saying that to the guy who, when he got his MP36 in the mail, said, "Screw the instructions, I'm figuring this out by myself."
Oh yeah, Bart gets he's like that. He's a puzzle maniac. He does 500-piece puzzles like quick, and he gets mad when I'm like he gets stuck on something, and I turn on like MGO or Bobby to do the transformation because I'm like, no man, I'm not waiting for you. And he's like, it's cheating. But I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna enjoy my toy and buy someone else. Someone else is gonna transform it for me.
I mean, I'll sit there. It took me roughly hour 15 minutes to figure out MP36 on my own.
Yeah, wow.
And I was like, I ain't got nothing else to do. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, get it.
So I will say this in terms of third party. I think there should end up being a better connection, I guess you might say, between like ease of transformation.
Yeah. Oh my god, I missed this blue. Yeah.
Because sometimes it's like so many people I've noticed will have their third party figures on a shelf in bot mode, and at that point, what's the point of the alt mode, right? And a lot of people will say, "Oh, I transform it once, I transform it back," and then, or in the case of if they come packaged in car mode or alt mode, they transform it the once and they call it done, and then it's never to be seen again, right?
No, I don't like my least favorite part of Transformers is the transforming part. I don't know why.
I think
I don't have patience, man. I never had patience for shit like that, right? Like some of the old school ones, yeah, I like the old school ones to transform because they're simple, right? But when you get into that stuff that's like either going to cost you $300 or just snaps, right? Or I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the thing about people. Like they even said about me about being the way I'm living, like. The transformation does have something to do with like why you like it. It's like, no, man, I did as a kid. I just liked them because they're cool ass robots, And like, yeah, I didn't even like cars as a kid that much. Like, I had some toy cars, of course, but it wasn't like, oh, I love semis because the Prime is a semi. I just thought he looked cool as a robot, But
yeah,
I was like, Bumblebee's cool. He's a punch buggy. I'm like, oh yeah, it's so cool.
Rachel in chat says, I actually transformed the more complex guys like Dark of the Moon figures I still have. But current generations are like watered down piss. Easy stuff, then it's not fun. I could definitely see that because like it's a puzzle, right? And you want to enjoy the puzzle, I totally see that. Keldeo says, I don't transform a lot of my Generations figures as I am waiting to do my Transformers fan series. Big M, what's up, Big M? He says, speaking of that, my Fans Toys Dead End at Minosaur just slipped FML on that amount of transforming. Let's see. And Blue Raccoon asks, what kind of car do you think RC would be in Earth alt mode? Let's see. If we're talking 80s RC, what would 80s RC be for in Earth mode? She'd be something probably, I was going to say Japanese, but given that era, we're not really looking at the golden era of Honda yet and everything. We're kind of in that like I would say probably golden era of of Italian European cars. I would make RC a Testarossa. That's what I would do. That would be it right there. I'd give her a drop top, make her a Testarossa Spider, and paint her pink, and that's my pick right there. Hot car for a hot robot. Nice little pinup robot, or pinup car, right? Rachel says a 69 Chevy Cobra for RC. Okay, that's a good one. I can totally get behind that one. 69 Chevy Cobra for sure. I know Danny's like, I don't care about cars, and now we're seriously about cars.
I'd tell her to be like, maybe make her an electric scooter or something, you know?
Oh.
I don't like cars. I don't like cars very much besides a couple.
She would be the first soccer mom. It'd be like a Toyota Previa, and it would be like a model.
That would be perfect.
she'd be teamed up with Ironhide as his wife or something, right? She'd be like, why can't you come home on time? I'm tired of this Optimus Prime taking up all your time.
It's
Take
gonna be
away
like,
me and your kids.
so funny. Yeah, it's gotta be like a soccer mom vehicle, right? That'd be perfect. I'm down for that.
Oh, Rachel says, let's make a Transformer a Ford Focus. The 80s Ford Focus, the one from the UK that was like turbocharged, all-wheel drive, the one that did the rally races, all that stuff, dude. That was, okay, you can definitely get, that would be a Decepticon. I could totally see that one being a Decepticon for sure. Make her a Fiero, says Big M. I don't know about that. If we're gonna make her a Fiero, let's make her the better version of a Fiero. That it's called an MR2. Let's make her an MR2. Soundwave is the soccer mom.
Makes me ill, but
oh, Rachel says no, a modern Ford Focus. I can see that because you still got like the RS model there, the all-wheel drive and turbo and everything. I can definitely get behind that for sure. Yeah. Be a nice little update. So yeah. Transforming toys. Do you transform or do you not transform?
Every time I open the box and it's in alt mode, I cry, you know? I do. I just crying when this guy was in oh god, he was simple too, right? Bart made me do it, but I was like, do it for me. He's like, no, you're gonna sit here and you're gonna put it in that mode.
Good for Bart. Yeah, you should transform it.
I know.
You should sit down. You should go through every mode on Silverbolt, and you should learn to appreciate every mode that figure has to offer. Go through it with a fine-tooth comb, Danny.
I know.
Do it.
Sometimes you're thankful for the people you have around you, right? Because they get you to open up, but you know, it's like, why can't you do it for me? Everyone else does everything else for me, so.
Let's see. Rachel says, I transform some, as I've said, assuming I'm not out of money, losing bids on Transformers Marvel issue 3. Keldeo also says, if you don't like cars, why not pick up non-Earth cars like Hot Rod and Optimus Primal?
I hate all vehicles and I hate animals.
Well, there's a sound clip to get this show canceled. All right.
Oh, no. I love that.
And I'm not vegan either, okay? So
I'm not vegan. You know what? It's another kid. I know, Mom. Sorry. I know. I do love animals. Love dolphins.
You should never love cars. Didn't give a crap.
I know. I'm kidding.
Never went
I love
to the
guns,
bathroom.
though. Give me
Never went to the
Transformers.
bathroom,
Gun
period,
if you're
with me.
taking to a 7-Eleven.
Not one time to the bathroom.
I know. Get out. This is a perfect example. I bought this off eBay, and it came like this, and I still have to transform it.
oh, dude, that's like one of the easiest ones.
You know, just looking at it, like, I hate you. Why did I buy you? But,
oh, man.
I love animals.
Right.
You know, I do. I Beast Wars, like I said, that stuff is somewhat actually fun to transform. You know, like they were, I don't know, the action part to it. You know, the rat trap.
See, and, you know, I'll say this: I do prefer transforming like Beast Wars figures over like G1 figures, because it's kind of like you see, like in terms of Beast Wars, you see like a tiger head on a chest, and you're like, oh, it's a tiger. Okay, but how does he get to that tiger? I got to figure this out. But when you see like a hood on a G1 figure on the chest, you're like, okay, I get this. The hood folds up, the arms fold down, his legs wrap behind him. Oh, look, ma, car. Like, it's just like, eh. But
yeah,
like,
yeah, similar to Conan. But I know that's like, I mean, like Quick Strike, that was cool. I like transforming Quick Strike, right? It's fun, it's different. It's, you know, how did he get that way with his arm as a legs and his arm as a cobra, right?
right. See, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, it's fun, right? Like, you can kind of, you want to figure that out. Or in the case of Tiger Hawk, how does this tiger fit on the shoulder? How does he have wings? What is going on here? I got to know what he turns into. That's going to be sick as hell, right?
The Silver Bolt, I would say, like, that was the era though, like, you know, 10 and 96 or so. So it's like, you know, that was just the era though, of stuff you're used to, and you actually, it was more enjoyable as a kid, right? Especially in the transformations, you could remember them all, and you know. Yeah,
absolutely. I get that. Danny, what are we talking about next week, man? What we got lined up? We got something that
depends. It just depends if someone reaches out or not. Might be bringing the extra heat, or we'll be talking about. I think we had something else lined up just in case, but
I think we're going to talk. I thought that we're going to talk about pet peeves of toy collecting and Transformers in general, right?
Yeah, pet peeves. Let me see. I wanted to check my notes too, but there's something else. But yeah, we could do pet peeves of collecting. That'd be a good one.
Yeah, let's do that. Blue Raccoon says, "Hey, input. Did the flood hit your area? I called a sister from my church who lives in Temple. She's doing fine. How are you? Yeah, I'm doing really good. The flood was closer towards San Antonio in that area, which is about 3 hours or so away from me. But we did get a lot of rain over the course of like 2 months. It rained almost like 4 times a week here. So, but I do appreciate it, Blue. Keldeo says, I got a good question for a future stream. What you got, Keldeo? It says, it's a really hot on the stove kind of hot. What you got, Keldeo? Blue Raccoon says the unsupportive collective family. Yes, we can. Okay, there's a idea right there. I was actually thinking about this over the last few days. Collecting and depression and anxiety and just how it all kind of feeds into one another.
Too, when your family's guilting you about how horrible it is, like grow up, right?
Yeah.
Family never did. They always did the opposite. Oh, get 5, get 6, be more mentally ill, so I can just blindly easily take care of you. You know.
Hey. Okay, so that's what we got 2 episodes lined up for the next 2 weeks. Next week is pet peeves in toy collecting and the Transformers in general. And
next week it's just heal those.
And then the week after that, we will be talking about collecting and the anxiety and depression and how when all 3 of them are under the same umbrella in the same person, how that is a recipe for disaster almost.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's good. And that the family and supportive, like just people and supporting, that could be girlfriend, family, people that put you down for something you like to do, or
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably the next 2, but thank you for everyone hanging out. I was just kidding. I love my dolphins. I love my animals. I love my fish. I love everybody. I love transforming stuff. My favorite toy as a kid was a Rubik's Cube, trying to match all the colors. But thank you for being here, everyone.
Danny loves animals. Her favorite show is Flipper. Okay. And Keldeo says his suggestion is it, quote, how bad has Transformers stagnate? That's actually a good one. Transformers stagnation. Yeah, that works too. Hey, E-Man, what's up, dude? But yeah, next week's episode is pet peeves and toy collecting and everything that runs that gambit. The next week or 2 weeks episode is depression and in collecting and anxiety and collecting and all that stuff that goes hand in hand with it. And Danny loves animals. And that's it. And thanks everyone for joining us this episode of the State of the Transformers Fandom podcast.
I love wiener dogs. See you guys next week.
This is the State of the Transformers podcast, and we put we're repping real hard. Thanks for watching the show. Now you know we bring that heat with that plastic glow. The dynamic duo talking thoughts and feels. Transformers talk, keeping it real. The live stream with Danny and Input. The trainee and the co-star that said what? Oh no, don't get your feelings hurt. We know you're feeling burnt with every word. But we got the speed, yeah, we're ready to win. She's got that Dolphin grin. And Input got that girl with the stare. No one compares truth or dare. This duo's lit, we always had the few. We don't love to hate, but we love to do it. From okay to great, yeah, we crack that topic. We won't drop it, we won't stop it. You don't wanna be in the scope. Oh nope, this team is dope. Keeping it real, we hope you enjoy the show. Many more places